Hi everyone, Michelle here from the Creative Cove. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you're all doing well. I wanted to do another quickie sketch on how to draw dragonflies. Again, I like to incorporate hand-drawn items and hand-painted items into my junk journals. I think they give a nice little warm touch to any journal. So let's get started on how to draw these little guys. And then once we're done, maybe we will build a little ephemera to glue in into one of my little inserts here. So I kind of do things backwards where I build the inserts and then build the journal. I don't know why I do it that way, but I seem to gravitate to that. I don't know why, but anyways, we're gonna draw a dragonfly today. I'm gonna show you some cute little steps to take to try and get him uniform. That's probably the biggest challenging part is trying to get the wings uniform in size. So let's get started. You're gonna need an HB pencil if you have HB, or you can go softer with a 2B. This is a mechanical pencil. It's a 0.7 lead. And I like to sketch with these. I find them nice and easy to use. They're a light pencil, but use whatever you've got. And some scraps. So this is an old cookbook, and I'm just going to use the blank pages at the back end of this cookbook. And you go through your scrap piles and find all kinds of loose bits and pieces that you can doodle on. So it's a great way to use up scraps as well. I think we'll draw on him today too. All right, well, let's get started. So we're going to just start with two circles here. So let's see if I can zoom in a bit without hopefully my hand getting in the way. So we're going to start with two little circles, which are his eyeballs. So they have these huge eyes that can see 360 degrees, which is why they're so good at capturing food in the air, I guess. So we're going to start with two little rectangles above those circles. And then we're going to do a little semicircle on the top of that. We're going to give two little lines out here. And then we're going to start building his body. So that's the top of his head. And there are all kinds of different dragonflies. We're going to start with this type, which is the gigantic guys I have around where I live. So we're going to start with another semicircle underneath from one eye to the other. And then another semicircle under that. Then what I like to do is draw a thin line going right through the center. And I stop where I think he's in proportion. So this part of his body here should be 3 times the length of him. And that's when you know you have him in proportion. So if you draw these semicircles even bigger, he's going to be longer. So if you were to take this and mark it out, there'd be 3 times the size. So what we do now is we kind of create this hourglass shape. It goes out from the side here and gets closer to that center line and then moves out again. We're going to do the same on this side. Closer to the center line, moves out. And then we're just going to wrap it around. The next thing we're going to do, and you can pause this video anytime you want to resketch, erase, whatever you need to do. I hope you draw along with me. We're going to do these little smiley faces down the line here. And the reason we do these, they're called contour lines. We'd make them circular. If we went straight across like this, the illusion of him being 3-dimensional gets lost. So we want to make sure we always have a contour circle in anything that's rounded. We're going to do these contour lines. Okay, so now let's throw in a little bit of shading. So what I like to do, because these are just quick sketches, I'm not catching tons of detail. I'm just going to kind of scribble in his eyes. I'm going to leave a little bit of white space in these shapes. And give him a little bit of a furry top here. Same with his back. I'm just going to go underneath those smiley faces we did. Put a little bit of a shading in there just to separate those little segments. And I'm sure they have a technical name, but I don't know what they are. There we go, just give him a little bit of shading. And now we're going to do his wings. So his wings can be quite challenging because we want to make sure they're uniform and they're in proportion. So his wings, the wingspan of him is going to be 1.5 times the length of his body. So what we want to do is we want to find out where the wings attach. So they usually on the very back crown here of the second segment behind his head. It's kind of right on top of it, what I would call his shoulder blades really, because his legs come out here. So right here is where we want to start drawing our wing. So I go out and divot a bit, and then I bring it out again. And then I'm going to wrap around, and I'm just sketching so I can make any adjustments after I've drawn it and think, okay, that didn't work, that's too small, I need to change that. So I'm going to bring it out like that and back in. So what I want to do now is I'm just going to draw a very faint line right across here. So that way I know when I draw this other wing, it's going to end up right here. I know the height of this one. It just kind of gives me a bit of a visual gauge of where to draw the next wing. So I'm going to repeat the shape. I'm going to go, and you could even draw a line through where the wing divots, just so you know you're getting the right spot. Divot, and then it's going to come up. Going to wrap around. It's going to go up again, and then back down. And again, loose sketching. You can erase any lines you don't like when you're done. And you can correct any shape. We're really just trying to capture his form. So now the next wing we're going to do attaches right underneath this first wing. Because his wings are clear, you can see both wings. And that's going to go down. So what I do now is I give myself a reference as how wide I want the second wing to be by pulling a line down. Just as straight as you can. Again, not perfect, just a sketch. And now I'm going to pull the line out. I'm going to wrap it to that line, bring it up a little bit. And now this wing has a nice little crease in it. It folds down like this and wraps around. So I'm going to draw a little line across so I know that that's where that line's going to wrap around. I'm going to bring it down again. And normally I would move my book instead of my arm this much, but I'm just trying to keep it in the same direction for you guys. So, but move your book around as opposed to trying to contort your wrist. And you'll find it's a little bit easier to sketch. So now I'm just gonna sketch the other one here. So I'm mimicking the shape, round, round and up, and the divot here. So now I can erase any of the lines I don't need, all these little reference lines, and just wipe those out. Don't need those anymore. I'm pretty happy with the shape, but this is where you would make any adjustments. So for example, this seems to tweak up a little bit harsher than this line, so I'm going to soften that a bit. Erase these other lines in here I don't need, clean them up. There, so I have his wings done. So let's give him some arms and legs. So we're just going to pull out a line coming out here on either side, loose sketch, another one, and another one, and then these tiny little feet. And then I'm going to go on the side here and do the same thing, line going out, line going down, and little feet. They kind of have these little fly legs. Line going down, line going out, line going down for his leg. And I just repeat it on the other side. And if you go too thick or too dark, you just erase it and go a little lighter. But it's this looseness of these sketches is what I like. So now let's put some details in his wings. So his wings will be, they're very thin and clear. Some of them are colored, some of them aren't, but I don't want to spend hours doing a lot of detail. So all I do is a light touch on my pencil, and I just kind of do the scribbly lines. And then I just go back and forth with a scribble, just to imply those delicate little webs of wings that they have, those little tiny thin veins that go through. Very, very delicate. And do the same on this side. So we're just trying to capture the form and the shape of this insect. And you can do different perspectives of him. So this is just a bird's eye view of him flying by. So I'm going to just give a little bit of a light pencil in where his wings cross over each other. Just a little bit. And just shade that in just a bit. And there's our dragonfly. So again, you can make any adjustments if you find your lines are too heavy for his nice light wings. Thin them out. Keep the weight of the line nice and light, indicating his wings are very light and delicate. I love dragonflies. I find they're so fun to watch when they're hunting. And they're just the most agile creatures ever when it comes to flying. They're quite the voracious predator when it comes to eating as well. There we go. And if you find his body a little heavy, you can always lighten him with a little bit of an eraser here. If you've lost any detail, lighten him up. And there you go, there's your dragonfly. Nice little quick sketch. And again, that's what this is about, just quickie sketches. So let's do another one. Let's do this pocket here. So I bought these little pockets off Amazon, and they peel off, and they're like a library card style. So let's decorate the front so we can use it in our journal. And I think we'll do a different style dragonfly. So I have this guy that I sketched earlier. We'll sketch him again. So he's a different species. So it's the same process though, with a little different detail. So we're going to do the eyes. Actually, his eyes are wider apart, sorry. So we need some space in here. There we go. So 2 circles with a little gap in the middle. And then he gets just a dome. Round dome, and then he has a neck. So this guy has a thin neck like this, and almost like a wine bottle shape is what he has. So it just goes like this, and then he's going to have a cinched in waist which is like a hourglass shape here, and then he has a thick round tail, like almost like a wasp. So it'll be nice and big. Maybe a little bit bigger. So proportion wise can be challenging while drawing these, and you'll know when you get it around or right, because it will look funny if it's not in proportion, and you can make those adjustments. So my first line, I could tell instantly that the tail was too short, so I extend it. We're going to do the same thing with the contour and do those circle lines, little smiley faces I call them, to imply that this is a round cylinder, not a flat shape. And we're going to color him in a little bit. So same thing, just nice and loose sketching. Get a little details, little shadows underneath those segments. I'm not spending tons of time trying to get super hyper detail on realistic detail. I just want to do loose sketch. Going to make his head a little fuzzy. Maybe that's a little too fuzzy. Let's erase that. Make it a little bit smaller. So you can see how you can make quick adjustments. All right, so let's give him now some wings. So his wings sit further back on his back here. So the first one we did, they're up here. This species, they're back here. And I'm sorry, I don't know the names of dragonflies, but these guys that I'm drawing now are the kind that when you're canoeing, they're always around, and you can see them easily because they have the beautiful dark patches on their wings. So I'm gonna pull it out to the edge of my paper here, remembering that the wings have to be double the length. So this actually might be too big to fit his full wings in, and that's okay. So we're gonna pull out his next wing and pull it off here. So I'm gonna be a little bit short, but that's all right. So if you're not sure where to draw the next one, draw yourself that very faint line going across. You can draw the curve of his wing going across, and then you know that this is the space you need to create. So you mimic this negative space. And go up, and I'm gonna go up. Go. So now let's do the second set of wings. So they will start from his back here as well, and these ones curve down. Again, I've run out of paper, that's all right. I'm gonna curve it down again, and I'm gonna bring it over. So I'm going to draw a faint line across so I know that I want to mimic this shape here. So I'm going to bring this down here and I'm going to start curving. And I'm going to bring his wing down. Again, you can make any adjustments you want. So let's erase this here. We can decorate his wings and give him his legs. You can see how fast you can sketch these guys once you practice them and get a little confident with your sketching, and that's really all it is confidence. So I'm just going to color in some part of his wing here, these nice little black bits and pieces of his wing. He's got, so you want to mimic the same area in the shading. I'll go down here. It's got a black line that comes off and another one that goes down, and you can see I'm just sketching real quick. It's almost like you want to sketch him before he flies away, and then we'll just give him some of those delicate little veins that he has running through his wings. Well, just soft touch on the pencil, and that's practice as well, holding your pencil so you get a nice light line and pushing hard so you get a dark line. How you hold your pencil too will make a difference. Okay, so now let's maybe give him, I'd like to make his eyes a little bit bigger, sorry. They have huge eyes, there we go. Let's give him his legs now. So he's gonna come out from underneath his, what I call, looks like a shoulder. And a 1, and then 2, and then his little fun hands. And 2, and again, little sticky hands. And then the secondary leg comes out this way. So 1 line, 2 line, and a leg. 1 line, another line, and that little curly foot. And then the last one comes down here. So 1 line, 2 lines, 1 line, 2 line, and then a little curve on his foot. And there you have it. There's another dragonfly. So we can decorate this a little bit while I have you. Might as well. Here, got some little bits and pieces hanging around here. So I have, see, like an identification. I have a number just for fun, for journaling. That could be fun. Let's cut this up a bit. And then we'll stick it in our journal. And, you know, you just keep sketching away. You might not get him the first time, or you might realize, okay, his wings are off. But the more you do it, the faster you get at it, the more confidence you get at it by trying it over and over again. And you'll be amazed at how fast you can build your skills at sketching. And this is sketching. This isn't, you know, high detailed drawings. So we're not putting that kind of pressure on ourselves. Once we get our skills and our confidence up, then we can start adding a little bit more detail. But right now, it's just about having fun trying to capture the form of these creatures, and that's what these quickie sketches are about. I'm just gonna ink this, my dry ink here. I'm using this vintage photo, I believe, by Jim Holtz ink, and I'm just gonna do the envelope as well. Kind of tie it in, and I'm a messy inker. I like it very rough, kind of vintagey, dirty page. That's the look of journals I like. So there. Well, let's put. You can even color these in. You know, you can use pencil crayon and color them in with some more detail, just to tie it into whatever your style of journal is. So I'm going to do something like, I think I'll do it up here. And then I'm going to put him here. Actually, don't like that. I'm going to move this. I think I'll put the number up there and the identification check. And I just printed these off for a Word program. I wrote the numbers and words in and then printed them on coffee dyed paper. So I didn't pay for these little details. I just kind of made my own. And there you go. So then you can take it and put it into your journal. Let's see here. Let's put it right here. So it peels off and sticks right down. Hopefully I'm in frame because my camera's quite close. I wanted to make sure you guys could see the details in the drawing. And I like to stain this as well with some ink. I need to clean out my desk. It's getting out of control. Mess everywhere. And then I'll just put this in. We could even add another little word to it if we want. Say, some notes. Notes, that works. And now you've incorporated one of your sketches into your journals. And, you know, they really do add a different element to journaling, which I love. You know, you can buy sketched paper, you can buy other people's work, but sometimes it's nice to do your own. There we go. So that's that. That's our dragonflies. And you can do different species of dragonfly. What else have I got? I thought I had another one here with a different perspective. So here's another sketch where he's not quite from a bird's eye view, but he's almost flying and going to land on a flower, which you could also draw in. So it's just playing. Use a reference from photographs or books that you might have and just practice sketching. And use those little tools about the lines going across to grab the size you're looking for. And another little tip too, if you're not sure size-wise how to do it, what I use sometimes is my pencil. So I'll use my thumb to indicate the length of his body, and then I'll go across like this, and that's when I know if I haven't done a wing large enough. So I know he needs to be at least 1.5 times the length of his body. This one's almost 2 times the length of his body. So depending on the species, again, and you'll see that when you look at a book, use your pencil to help measure. So we can use this one here. So I measure his length of his body, and then I can mark 1.5 lengths of his wings. And then I know, okay, I've got 1.5 length. I know his wings are the right size. It just helps with proportions, because you want to capture the proportion. All right. Well, that's it, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the little quickie tutorial. Like I said, they're quickie sketches. Have fun. Just break out that HB pencil and enjoy yourself. All right, guys, have a great day. Thanks for joining me. Bye.